Welcome to, or welcome back to, the Agatha May Detective Agency. I'm Agatha May, and in this episode, we'll be looking at some buzz that's been happening around my favorite idiot, Reginald Wayne Miller. Let me apologize for the current state of my voice. I am still recovering from the Black Plague. Maybe if people hear how I sound when I'm sick, they'll stop claiming I use AI. Then again, maybe not. There have been several videos made lately about Reggie and the lawsuit between his former church, Cathedral Bible, and Evelyn Califf. There have been claims made that the lawsuit didn't go through the court. It did. I'm going to upload the documents that I found online in reference to the case to my website, and I'll post the link in the description. Evelyn Califf was a member of Cathedral Bible Church, and in 2016 and 2017, she had borrowed $48,200 from the church. Let's just put aside why a church would loan money to a member and all agree that it's weird for a church to be a bank. It is legal if done correctly, but it's still weird. According to court documents, Evelyn kept promising to repay the loan and supposedly was going to use money from the sale of a property in Marion, South Carolina to do so. But in a letter that Reggie wrote to the court, because of course he wrote a letter, that sale never happened and the repayment never happened. Here's the letter Reggie wrote. February 23, 2018. Over a period of 3 months, Evelyn Califf borrowed $48,200 from our church in 2016 to 2017. According to the paper she signed, the loan was to save her inheritance and estate. To this day, she has not produced the receipts for the claim she made. In addition, over 1 year ago, she borrowed the last amount that brought the total to $48,200 loaned to her between November of 2016 and January of 2017. We only loaned her the final amount based on contract of sale of which she and her son produced, claiming it was for an amount of $50,000 for property in Marion that she had received from her son. And when we questioned the contract, her son told us that it would be executed within 30 days and all funds borrowed would be returned. Her son claimed the property was worth $50,000. It was later discovered at the courthouse that he had purchased the property for about $17,000 and sold it the next day for $500 to a friend, and then 1 month later had his mother, Evelyn Califf, to purchase the property for around $40,000. The contract of sale present to us for the $50,000 was not genuine, and it appears that the same handwriting signed all sections of it. The promise to pay was not honored, and the house and property presented by the contract of sale was presented in a picture of a nice home on a nice lot. But during a later investigation, it turned out to be a building with a falling-in roof and was grown up with small tree-sized growth, making it impossible to even go into the house, totally unlike the picture online. It has been on the market for many months by her, and $15,000 is the highest offer received. With what we now believe to be lies from her and her son, and with the trusting kindness of Dr. Stowe and Dr. Miller, two of our trustees, she, with the aid of her son, managed to get them to loan every penny the ministry had in January of 2017, bring the total loan to $48,200 with the promise of repay in 30 days. We have had over 1 year. She has a home with enough value that she could pay off the debt and have income for the rest of her life. She promised to put it up for sale in September of 2017 to pay back her debt. However, it was soon to be in foreclosure for non-payment of taxes and insurance, and she could not pay the electricity bill or other bills to maintain the house. Dr. Miller and friends of the ministry helped her so that she did not lose it in foreclosure. Still, after she was helped to remove it from foreclosure in November to December, she refused to move forward as had promised a number of times to do so. During this year, her failure to honor the agreement of the debt has cost us the loss of a $250,000 insurance policy that we had paid in over the past 10 years, a total of $60,000. We have lost our fellowship hall with not enough funds to maintain it. This has caused almost unbearable suffering for the ministry as they have tried to maintain the operation of their programs. In addition, she has instead supported her adult son financially. Since he has no job, she has paid his phone bill, provided transportation, paid all the bills on the home where he lives free, and yet he can be seen on Facebook at bars having a party, So money is coming to him to party while no funds are available to repay the ministry. It is now evident that in spite of the good efforts and sacrifice and help she has received from Dr. Miller and the board, there is not serious effort of repayment, and further delay will cost the church further losses by not having those funds on hand. She has enough equity in the home to repay her debt and to live out the remaining years of her life with her needs met. After 1 year of trying to help her, it is evident that she and her son, who helped her convince us to make the loan, have no intention of repaying it. We are asking for judgment against her, at least the $48,200 borrowed, which is backed up by copies of checks and also an affidavit for judgment by confession. We are not asking for all our loss, such as the insurance policy, due to her having our funds that were to be returned by February of 2017. We are asking that the home at 305 Waterside Drive in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, be put up for sale and our funds returned. Sincerely, Reg W. Miller, President of the Board of Trustees of Cathedral Baptist Church of the Grand Strand, Incorporated. Reggie is such a drama queen, and he really needs a proofreader. I don't know what insurance policy he's talking about, but if the church paid $60,000 over 10 years, that equals payments of $500 a month. If that was a life insurance policy at that high of a premium, it would more than likely have a cash value attached to it. It would be interesting to know if Reg ever received any money from the policy. I'm not sure what worship hall Reggie is talking about losing, because at this point he'd already lost the church and college property in Marion. That was a result of his federal visa fraud charges, not because of the loan the church gave someone 2 years after he was home from federal prison. So the church took Evelyn to court, and they were requesting that she sell her house in Myrtle Beach and use those proceeds to repay the loan. Evelyn did end up selling her house, but she also filed bankruptcy. Now, I'll be the first to admit that I know little to nothing about bankruptcy court and how everything works, but from the court documents I found, Reggie was repaid only a portion of the original loan. The repayment totaled $17,205.56. The person who ended up purchasing Evelyn Califf's house has also been part of the recent videos, and that's because the house was purchased by Regina Ward, Micah Francis's attorney. I think it's a stretch to say that Regina was involved with the Millers just because she bought a house. The deed was transferred to Regina on 8/16 of 2022, and Evelyn's bankruptcy case was completed on 8/23/2022. Regina purchased the house for $551,000 and took out a mortgage on it. It doesn't seem like it was some shady deal that happened between her and Reggie Miller. Let's remember that Myrtle Beach isn't a big city by any means. And according to Zillow, there are currently 365 houses for sale in Myrtle Beach that are priced over $500,000. And if we narrow down the price between $500,000 and $650,000, there are only 158 houses currently for sale in that price range. So I don't think it's that much of a reach for Regina to have ended up with Evelyn's house. There is a lot of information I've bumped into while looking into this, and I'll be sharing it in future videos. I do think that it's possible that Reggie might have stretched the truth more than once in his letter to the court. But at this moment, I think Regina Ward deserves to be given the benefit of the doubt. Without evidence of any wrongdoing on her part, I think it's prudent to not make baseless accusations. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, stay safe and be happy.